and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. You know who it is by now. Now, ladies and gents, I just wanted to introduce you guys to a new series that is hitting the channel, and that is the Dueling Book grind. Now, I'm embarking on this adventure just to improve at the game. Locals where I live has just officially been locked off, mainly because of the coronavirus, so there's no chance of me playing any kind of competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, any kind of locals or anything like that for the foreseeable. So this is where we're gonna do most of our competitive dukes or competitive duels or whatever you want to call it. So I have played a few games. I have had a couple of L's, to be honest, mainly just messing around with the mechanics. I did get smacked by Gren Marju, which was just horrible, but what I will say, ladies and gents, is I will be putting my losses on the channel as well as my wins, mainly because I just want to improve, and obviously it will be a good point for you guys to kind of point out where I went wrong, what things that I could do to improve, and things that I did well. So we're starting off with Unchained as the deck of choice, ladies and gents. So without wasting any more of your time, let's get straight into the duels. So this was probably the third match I played in a series of matches that I played online, ladies and gents. Now I do not know what actually happened here. I think my opponent must have just drew. Actually, he didn't open too bad. He did have a baby Cerosaurus, he had an Ash Blossom, Petite Pteranodon, Dark Ruler No More, a lot of going second cards, to be honest. But he potentially could have at least set a card just to defend himself, but he decided to concede anyway. So we went straight into game 2. Now obviously he wanted me to go first because by the looks of it he is playing dinos, so I proceed to set up. Now there's one thing about Unchained, ladies and gents. They float like nobody's business. So setting a card is not always a bad thing, mainly because you can basically float into a whole load of other stuff. However, looking at his hand, he has a Dark Ruler No More, Double Evolution Pill, Cyframe Gear Gamma, another Dark Ruler No More, and a Miscellaneous Saurus. So he is not looking too healthy at all. So he draws, and he draws an Ash for turn. Oh my days. So he's basically bricked both games, but hey ho, it is what it is. Sometimes it happens. So obviously I'm kind of fearful of hand traps. I am kind of fearful of Nibiru as well, as you'll see with one of the plays that I do anyway. So I set my Wailing of the Unchained, potentially because I'm going to pop it. Well, my first protocol was basically to pop it with Sarama once I flip her face up. So I activated Abomination's Prison to go for the search, which wasn't a problem because I knew it was going to get ashed anyway. So that goes to the graveyard, which is fine. Then I declared my Sarama to reset my Abomination's Prison by popping my Unchained Souls, which would actually float into another card. And he decided to gamma me, which was fine. However, because he gammed my Sarama and it was destroyed, I believe it does destroy, doesn't it? Negate the activation if you do destroy that monster. Yep. So Sarama gets to float into another card. So I decide to bring out my Unchained Soul of Disaster, and also because a card on my field was destroyed, I'm able to summon Abominable Unchained Soul and activate his effect by pitching the card to the graveyard to pop a card on field. So I decided to pop my own Wailing of the Unchained Souls because it doesn't target, you don't have to target one of your opponent's cards. So that gets popped, which allows that to then flow into another card, which was my Unchained Twins Rakia. Now I potentially could have linked off with one of his monsters here, but I decided, in fact yes I did, I decided to link off the Gamma and go straight into a Unchained Soul of Rage, and then I just proceeded to battle phase, doing 48k to the face. Then I ended my turn, and I don't understand why he actually didn't even try and play on there. He did have Dark Ruler No More. I suppose he only had a Miscellaneous Saurus, but potentially whatever would have happened, he would have ended up allowing one of my cards to float. So he draws infinite impermanence for turn, which is not really going to help him too much. And you can see, ladies and gents, and that is that in a nutshell. It's very, very swift game. Like I said, Dueling Book is a little bit of a difference from EDO Pro. It's a lot slower, it's a lot more manual, to say the least, but it is definitely a more competitive, or arguably more competitive, way of playing. It does take a lot of time, which you can see why people are drawn away from it, mainly because it's time consuming, especially with the back and forth conversation that you have. But nevertheless, it is a journey that I'm embarking on. So that's 1 win so far, and I think I've lost 3 games in total. So the journey carries on. And like I did say, ladies and gents, if you do enjoy this content, be sure to like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And I will definitely see you guys on the next video. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.